Welcome to the All Operating Theatre Museum. I'm Harry Garrett. We're very delighted to be able to be working with Totally Thames Festival and Team London Bridge to bring the work of artist Irma Isara to the museum in September. St. Thomas's Hospital used to be here, and this is all that remains, not just the church, but actually the contents of the attic, which date back all the way to 1703 when the church was constructed. And in 1822, they added an operating theatre. This is where we are right now, in the oldest operating theatre in Europe that is still surviving. The space here, the theatre itself, is where the students will have stood to be able to learn by observation the surgical procedures that were happening in the operating table.
I always look at this space as a space of inquiry, because you think that hundreds of years ago people were standing here watching medical procedures, surgical procedures, and learning from each other. So it was a space of learning.
It was a space that offered hope to those that had none. The space was for the working poor, the deserving poor. It wasn't for the rich, and it was literally the last effort that the surgeons were trying to do to save someone's life. And I wanted to focus on that hope that the space brought, and offering this space to an events program that is designed in a way also to offer hope, but a very different one. The arts, music, theater, talks that engage people, all these things bring a different kind of hope to people. It engages, with our minds, with our emotions, with our souls in a way that can be very healing.
You were looking at your work for this year, and can you tell us a little bit about how it's developed and how we come to be here in the old operating theatre and Herb Garrett?
For this year, I did a few time-lapse videos, and I started to do a time-lapse videos for one reason, because I did ephemeral work, and only way for me to record it was to time-lapse it or film it. That started in Canal Museum, building ice sculptures and then observing how they change forms and how the ice melts and how it glues together as well. And I saw a lot of new little living things that were frozen and came back to life when I time-lapsed it. And then I also saw huge amount of microfiber plastic from clothes, from netting, especially supermarket netting. This is a nest that I collected. And the interesting is how nature had to adapt to it. And it's using the whole, the netting, supermarket netting, to build around. So nature can adapt, but the consequences, microfiber netting going inside the bodies of fish,
doesn't break down,
doesn't break down totally. And if you observe along the Thames, there is a lot of nests like this.
And you're going to do a special walk.
Yes.
Take a special walk as part of the festival.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Because people can come and learn.
Yeah, absolutely. So the walk takes you to some of the most important areas in London Bridge, basically. So every single stop connects you with one aspect that was connected with this idea of poverty and public health. So the Thames will be the most important one for this, and we're going to be making a special emphasis on that part of the tour because of how important that connection was to water and to the hospital.
Well, in the museum there is these nose that I found it interesting. It's from Venice. They used to put the herbs in there.
Because it was so smelly, they used the herbs.
So I thought it was quite interesting to change that and have the plastics. Now the protection is against. And our plague now is the plastics. It becomes a plague. So this is something that I really like about doing the exhibition here, because it shows this.
Plastic is the new plague that we have to deal with. And I never thought about it because she sees this micro plastic everywhere. And we don't think about it because it's micro, we don't see it. And we forget how easy something that is unseen can break havoc in our lives. Looking into what we're going to be showing in the museum, and of course, the work that Irma has done, I do believe that this is a perfect place to get this conversation started. And that just starts with people coming up the spiral staircase.